Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Games Workshop announced a new Black Templar Combat Patrol for 10th edition of 40k, and of course today we have to talk about it. Especially because this is my favorite faction and obviously I wanted to use this opportunity to share with all of you my first impressions and opinion about this new box. With that being said, I would like to repeat that this is just my opinion and these are just my first impressions. Because of that, I would like to invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about this new Combat Patrol. Anyway, enough of the introduction, let's start talking about the contents of this new box. If we buy the new Black Templar Combat Patrol, we are going to get a Crusader Squad, a super cool unit. We are getting there a Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and then we're getting 4 Neophytes. So in total we get a unit of 10 miniatures. I love the Crusader Squad. I'm happy to see one here as part of the Combat Patrol because it's unique to the Black Templars, and also it's very unique by itself. Like there's not something like this in the rest of the Space Marine armies, because we have different types of miniatures. Each one of them has different type of base. Like for example, the Sword Brother has a 40mm base, the Initiates they have like 32mm base, and the Neophytes they have 28mm base. So it's quite different. It's weird to see a kind of squad like this, and also there's like a lot of different customization options. The Neophytes can have chain swords and bolt pistols, the Initiates can have chain swords and heavy bolt pistols, or they can have bolters. It's the same for the Neophytes, that they can also have like Neophyte firearm. So we can have them with like ranged weapons or close combat weapons. Aside from that, we have within the 10-man squad, we have 2 Pyre Blasters, or also we can have 2 Power Fists. So yes, there's like a lot of different weapon options and poses that we can use for those miniatures. That makes me very happy. It's a super fun squad, and because of that we can have like multiple of them, and we can manage to achieve like every single miniature will be like slightly different, because we can have like slightly different poses. And then we have the Sword Brother of the unit, that also we have like power weapons for him because he's a Sword Brother. So again, it's super fun. He also can have like the heavy bolt pistol or Pyre pistol, so it's a super fun unit. Then we have a unit of 5 Sword Brethren. I like the Sword Brothers a lot in this unit. Each one of them is very unique, as it should be. And this again is another unique unit for the Black Templars. And it's super cool as well, because again we have like a lot of different bits right there, and with a lot of different customization options. We can have all of them with chain swords and heavy bolt pistol, or if not that, we can also have all of them with power weapons. There's like a nice variety. We have axes, we have swords, we also have lightning claws that one of them can have, and we have even a thunder hammer there. So there's a very nice variety of weapons for every Sword Brother in that unit. Let's not forget that one of them can have even a combi weapon, so it's a little bit more unique than the rest. So again, another unique unit for the Black Templars that is part of this Combat Patrol. And then we will also get a unit of 3 Bladeguard Veterans that I will talk a little bit more about them later. Finally, as a character, we are not getting an Emperor's Champion, we are getting the Emperor's Champion. About the Emperor's Champion, I would like to say that it's a super cool looking miniature. Maybe there it feels a little bit simple compared with other miniatures inside of that box, because some of them they have like a lot of things going on. But the pose of the Emperor's Champion is awesome, super epic, and actually it's a very elegant miniature, because the armor by itself is very beautiful. It looks very nice. It's just a Black Templar that is going to fight the biggest opponent, the commander of the enemy army. So it's like a super cool looking miniature. I mean, the lore is great and the miniature by itself is great. It seems like, looking at this image, there's no upgrades for the Black Templars, because if we look at the Bladeguard Veterans, they don't have sculpted shoulder pads, so probably that means that there's no Black Templar upgrades inside of this Combat Patrol. But it was just announced, we will have to wait and see. So for now we just assume that there's not. If there is, then let's be happy. And basically these are the contents. It's the usual 1 character plus 3 units that we have been seeing in the rest of the Combat Patrols, or at least most of the Combat Patrols that we have seen in 10th edition. Personally, I like a lot what I'm seeing here. I think that this is a very good Combat Patrol, and actually also I consider that it's the perfect foundation for a new Black Templar army. Like if a new player wants to start collecting Black Templars, everything that we're looking for is inside of this Combat Patrol. I mean, here we have only one unit of generic Space Marines, those Bladeguard Veterans. Except for those, the rest of them are unique for the Black Templars. So this is a proper Black Templar Combat Patrol with a lot of Black Templar flavor. At the moment of making this video, the Black Templars have 2 unique units plus a lot of different characters, and inside of this Combat Patrol we have those 2 unique units, the Crusader Squad and the Sword Brethren. So honestly, what else can I ask for a Black Templar Combat Patrol? The only generic Space Marines that are part of this Combat Patrol are the Bladeguard Veterans, so now let's talk a little bit more about them. I don't know if you share my opinion, but I consider that among all the generic Space Marine miniatures that are in the range right now, the Bladeguard Veterans are the one that will fit the most as Black Templars. I mean, just look at them. They have the exact same type of cloth in front of the armor. They have swords and shields, like, I mean, they have power swords. That makes them feel like Black Templars a lot. And they also have a similar type of helmet than the Sword Brethren that we can see in the back of the Combat Patrol. So I don't know, I do feel that among all the generic Space Marines, these ones are the ones that will fit the best within this Combat Patrol. Yeah, maybe it's up a personal taste. Maybe some people will be like, okay, I will have preferred to have, I don't know, Eradicators, Terminators or something different, but I consider it's not a bad choice. For sure it could be worse, so I'm not going to complain, and actually I think that they suit the vibe of the Combat Patrol, very focused into the close combat as it should be for the Black Templars. And it's not only that, it's like the kit by itself of the Bladeguard Veterans is also super cool, or at least I like it a lot, because there's a lot of different options as well. We can have them, like, they can have the shields in front or they can have them in the back. They can have different types of, like, poses with the power swords. They can have the pistols on the hand, or they just can have them in the holsters. So there's like a lot of different options for them as well. We can have like a lot of them, and we can have like a lot of different poses. So not bad. I'm happy to have Bladeguard Veterans there. Maybe the only thing worth complaining about this Combat Patrol is that at the moment of making this video, as I said previously, this is not an Emperor's Champion, this is the Emperor's Champion, this is an epic hero of the Black Templars, so we only can have one of them in game. And yes, that makes that buying this box twice is not that a good idea, or if there's people that already have that miniature, it's not that nice to get it again, because actually it's not such a bad idea to get this Combat Patrol twice, because 2 units of Crusader Squad, not bad at all. 2 units of Sword Brethren, not bad, and then having 6 Bladeguard Veterans, not a bad idea at all. So all those, it's okay if we have like 2 of them, but with the Emperor's Champion it's not that nice, because it's also like a monopose miniature, there's not much options there. But of course, there's always the option of kit bashing this miniature. The Emperor's Champion comes in a 40mm base, so we can try to use some extra bigs and turn the miniature into some kind of lieutenant or captain or something like that. So not that bad. Actually, it would have been super cool to have one of the new characters inside of this Combat Patrol. Like for example, this one that I made a video talking about him recently, link in the description of course. But yes, aside from that, maybe also I could complain that apparently there's no Black Templr upgrades inside of the Combat Patrol, because it's always nice to have them there at a discounted price, because like that we could make those Bladeguard Veterans look much more like Black Templars. But well, again, I don't know if they are there or not. I think that they are not, because they will have mentioned it. Or if they were there, the Bladeguard Veterans will have like the sculpted shoulder pads for sure. So I'm not going to assume that yet, but I think that they are not. So yes, those are maybe my only complaints about this box. Aside from that, I really like it. Because I want to repeat the same thing. I consider this box the perfect foundation for a Black Templar army if we are a new player starting a new Crusade. We have Crusaders, Sword Brethren, so it's like we already have the unique miniatures of the Black Templars there, like the unique units. I also like that kind of freedom, like okay, here you have the Black Templar Combat Patrol, you have these close combat miniatures, and from here you can build whatever army that you want. It just makes me happy to see a Black Templar Combat Patrol full of Black Templar miniatures. But always remember the most important part about every Combat Patrol. The best thing about the Combat Patrols is that it is cheaper to get the miniatures inside of the Combat Patrol rather than buying them individually. And here I always repeat the same. To use that discount properly, we need to want every single miniature inside of the box, because remember, if we buy miniatures that we don't want just because they are discounted, are we really saving money? Anyway, as I said at the beginning of the video, I like this Combat Patrol and this is my favorite faction, so for sure I will try to get this Combat Patrol as soon as it's out, and of course we will do an unboxing, we will assemble those miniatures, we will paint them, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that Combat Patrol. And at this point I would like to remind you that if you like what I do and you would like to support my work, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. And again, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about the new Black Templar Combat Patrol. And with all of that being said, this is it, this is the end of the video, so of course, as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.